Yeah, they say anything's possible. You got a dream like you never seen obstacles. Chasing obscene profits, so we ain't stopping for the red lights. Look at my review, all I see is headlights. Catch me if you can. Whoa, they try and sack me and I scramble. Look up in the sky.
Welcome everybody to the Beats and Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Alex Antuna, and this is the first episode of the Beats and Basketball Podcast. Beats and Basketball has been going on for about a year at Westfield State at WSKB Radio. And nonetheless, we thought about putting in a podcast form, getting those deeper conversations and analysis into a place where people can watch these as they go and they collect and we make more and more. So on today's agenda of our first episode of our podcast, we're going to be talking about New Year resolutions and how some teams and some players can apply them to the remainder of this season and into this new year. We'll be talking about Russell Westbrook and the Houston Rockets. We'll be talking about the Lakers as well. And we're definitely going to be talking about Brooklyn as well. Also on the agenda, is it time to take Miami seriously? They're second in the East right now. There's a lot to talk about with what's going on with Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra's Miami Heat. Now, reeling it back into the New Year's resolution topic, a lot of the times, we go into the new year, it's a time where people let go of bad habits, put down goals, and strive to better themselves. The cliche of New Year, New Me is definitely applied when we hear the new year happening. And that phrase, that cliche of New Year, New Me cannot be applied more than somebody other than Russell Westbrook himself. The 3-time triple-double holder, the MVP a few years ago, is shooting 23.4% from the clip this year. Having 7.1 assists this year, as low as it's been the past couple seasons. And when we look at how he played in the Thunder, he used a pick and roll so beautifully with Steven Adams. And when you have somebody at 6'10 with a wingspan like Clint Capella, you'd expect him to use that to his advantage even more because he's far more athletic than Steven Adams. And that has not been the case this year. Now, we have to keep in mind, he is playing with arguably one of the most ball-dominant players we've ever seen in James Harden. And this is Harden's team now. We have two ball-dominant superstars. We have to expect that one's numbers are going to be lower than what they previously had when they were running their own team. But with the camaraderie that Harden has had with Westbrook off the court, we would anticipate and expect them to slowly gel and come together and find a way where they're both balanced and they're both playing their games well. And we haven't seen that now. Westbrook has been playing better the past 8 games. Westbrook has been scoring a lot more. In the past 10 games, he's scoring 29.1 points per game. His field goal percentage is up to 46%. But he's not himself. And the rumor mill is spinning right now. And the rumors are out that Westbrook is available or open in the trade market. And yes, I agree it's too soon. But it's realistic because he's not working out. And we know the narrative in Houston. A trade that makes the team better, they will pull the trigger. They are not shy to do that. They dish Chris Paul. So, Russell Westbrook needs to alter his game. And how so? Cut to the basket more. Play without the ball more. And it's hard watching somebody dribble and dribble and dribble over and over again the way James Harden does. Especially if you're Russell Westbrook and you know what you can do. You know your capabilities. But nonetheless, Westbrook needs to utilize the pick and roll better with a person as athletic as Clint Capella. Russell Westbrook needs to shoot the ball better as well. 24.3% on the year. He's on pace to have the lowest three-point percentage ever with a minimum of 5 three-pointers shot per game ever in NBA history. So New Year, New Me, yes, that has to apply to Russell Westbrook. Now moving on. A lot of times when the new year, the embarkments of a new year, people like to get in shape, get in the gym, new year, new body. And at Beats and Basketball, we promote nothing less than promoting positive body positivity, if you will. Be proud to be you. Own your body. I think we need to apply that to the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. Because we've seen it out the gates. Jokic wasn't himself. He was overweight, out of shape, and not conditioned. Similar to Joel Embiid's case towards the end of the season last year. Seeming not conditioned. Seemingly looking slightly overweight. We seen that in the beginning sequences of this season with Nikola Jokic. We need a healthy, a well-conditioned Jokic, because the stretch forward has shot 14 plus in the past 7 of the 9 outings that they've had, and the Nuggets coincidentally won 7 of the last 8. He had his first 30-point outing this season. 31, 10, and 10 in a win at Memphis the 28th of December. His first 30-point game, and you're the star scorer. You're the star centerpiece. Now I understand Jokic is a passive power forward. He looks for the extra pass. But when your best offensive player, and please don't compare him to Jamal Murray in scoring who's the better scorer, because we know Jokic is the most dominant scorer on that team. When you have your first 30-point performance, 31, 32 games into the season, that shows a red flag. And now, luckily, it seems like Jokic is getting his groove back. He shot 15.5 field goals last season. Now he's starting to reach consistently that 14 field goal mark a game. He's coming back into his own. And we're seeing it offensively and defensively as well, because they've had their defensive issues swinging up and down throughout the season this year. But new year, new body as well. And Nikola Jokic needs to stay conditioned for the rest of the season. That should be his New Year's resolution. Now moving on, we talk about getting good rest. Getting your 8 hours, getting your 6 hours, resting your body. Your body is a temple, people. We should apply that to a man that turns 35 years old today. Yes, Mr. King James. The man has stated his feelings on load management. The Lakers went on a 4-game losing skid and won 2 games after that. And they hold their lead 2.5 games, first place in the Western Conference. LeBron can afford to miss a few games, whether they win or lose. It has been proven that. And at 35 years old, can LeBron go in, what does he call it, zero dark mode 23, as he likes to call it? I don't know the exact technicalities that he posts on Instagram. But when he goes into playoff mode, where he turns on the switch and he takes it back to years past prime LeBron James in the playoffs, I'm not doubting that he can't do that 35 years old. I'm just wary that if he plays a whole 82, or 81 I should say, because he missed a game earlier this week, he won't be able to do that, because we know Anthony Davis can't play more than 70 games in a season. Anthony Davis has played only 70-plus games once in his career. Now, Anthony Davis won't be able to play a full regular season and a full playoff season without rest. So if Anthony Davis goes down in the playoffs, and we expect LeBron to go in his playoff mode, will he be ready at 35 years old? The questions start to come to mind. A 35-year-old veteran going against a young prime core of the Los Angeles Clippers. PG and the Claw, Kawhi Leonard, are in their late 20s. That bench is well rested. They're ready to go, and they're in the primes of their career. LeBron James, he's not, I wouldn't say he's dramatically declining, but his best years are behind him. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Is LeBron James, if he even conquers the feat of beating LA, the other LA team, can he go toe-to-toe against a 25-year-old, 6'11", stretch forward that can dunk the ball from the free throw line? And Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't think so, if he's not well rested. So the biggest thing with LeBron James is that he needs to rest his body. And in reference to rest, this segues to our next resolution. No sleep till Brooklyn. The Beastie Boys would not like this topic at the very least. It's time to put this season to bed in Brooklyn. How so? Kyrie Irving has been out with a shoulder injury since November 12th. He has not been cleared for contact and is 2 weeks past when the team expected him to restore practicing, to start practicing again. Karis LeVert only played 9 games this year. Kyrie Irving, 11. And both of them showed glimpses of greatness. Kyrie Irving had his best scoring year in this minimal sample of 11 games, scoring 28.5 points per game, and 7.2 assists. LeVert is averaging almost 17 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So having somebody averaging 28.5 points per game and 16.8 points per game in Karis LeVert being shut down, and needless to say, this season wasn't the season for Brooklyn to compete this year, with Kevin Durant being out the whole year. Now, it's been said that Kevin Durant could possibly return in the playoff run, but we know that Kyrie's shoulder injury is much more serious than anticipated if he's not playing yet, if he's not even practicing or cleared for contact yet. The Brooklyn Nets have stated that they're worried about, they're not worried, they're concerned about the long run. They're looking at the bigger picture of things. So why concentrate on the season anymore? We're 31, 32 games in this season. There's 50 games left this season. And does this season really matter in the history of Brooklyn? When Giannis is ready to go, when Philly's stacked and they have their core players, when the Celtics have something stirring up that could potentially be something special if Brown and Tatum keep making strides, it's time to put this season to bed and rest Kyrie. Because Kyrie, alongside like Anthony Davis, they're superstars, but they can't play a regular 82. They can't play a full-length regular season. And if Kyrie's not healthy, and we know Kevin Durant's not coming back this regular season, and their supporting cast are just not making it this year, are not healthy this year, why concentrate on this season? Especially when the East is booming the way it is with Miami, with Philly, with Milwaukee, and with Boston as well. And let us not forget about Indiana either. Hey, thanks for watching Beats in Basketball on YouTube. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more basketball coverage coming your way. We'll see you around next time.